Hello, fabulous friends and fans. Welcome to your horoscope for the week of August 14, 2016. I am your astrologer, Nadiya Shah. Thank you for being here. It is a big week, and it's actually the very beginning of a very big 6-week period ahead. So much is ready to change, to transform. Lessons are ready to come together so that we can start walking brand new paths. And all kinds of inspiration is laying out in front of us. And it starts right now, and it starts with the eclipse. There is a partial lunar eclipse taking place this week. And this eclipse is speaking in harmony with Uranus, which is actually the ruling planet that the sign the eclipse is in, Aquarius. Aquarius as an energy is very independent. It's very much about being true to yourself and living in accordance to that truth, full stop. Aquarius is an energy that does not like to compromise. And when we have Uranus speaking in harmony with an eclipse in at least one area of life, all of us are going to be breaking free from the past, breaking free from some limitations so that we truly can move into a future that is free of whatever it was that felt like it was keeping us back from truly being ourselves. There is an expression of honesty that is ready to happen now, again, for all of us in at least one area of life. And this eclipse is going to go a really long way, not only to help us to make the change, but to understand how, with just a little bit of focus, a little bit of effort, a little bit of self-trust, great things can start to happen in our lives as well. There's a lot of hope with this, a lot of anticipation, a lot of inspiration that is going to be on offer, and it certainly is going to ring with an element of truth. That is the really big signature when we have this type of lunar eclipse taking place. It is that thing that we didn't want to see, that we didn't want to admit, that maybe was staring us in the face all along. Now we kind of got to admit it. We have a newly direct Saturn as we enter this week as well. And so all of us in some way are growing up and are accepting our responsibilities, are understanding the smart thing to do, and being more practical about the directions in which we desire to go. Well, if there's any lingering doubts, if there's anything that's holding back the full commitment to that change that is starting to take place, that is starting and wanting to take root now, this particular eclipse is going to go a whole long way to help the process along and to help us have those breakthroughs that we're ready to have. Help us to have those breakthroughs that in some cases may be a long time coming. Eclipses are key. Eclipses bring you back onto a path of a more loving fate. I like to think of the nodes as representative of our personal journey in the natal chart, in our birth chart, and our collective journey. When we look at the sky right now, it says something about our journey towards greater love and greater wisdom. So the south node shows us something about what we're leaving behind, the north node, what it is that we're moving towards. But the nodes both ultimately speak to our collective yearning, collective desire, our individual desire to move towards the greater embodiment of love and wisdom. So eclipses, as part of the mystery, eclipses, if we've gone off that path, as part of our own unique process of getting us there, of getting us towards embodying love and wisdom that much more. The further we've gone off that path, the more dramatically the universe will bring us back. And for some people out there, this is going to be a time, yes, there's going to be truths that show up for us now. It's like a full moon, but it's a jacked up full moon, is what I like to think of lunar eclipses. They're 20 times as powerful. And the amazing thing about lunar eclipses as well is that they do really help you to eclipse the past, close the past, know what isn't working, know what you don't want to carry into your future. And when we've got this harmonious Uranus supporting this eclipse, it does say that the awareness comes on rather quickly and allows the change to happen with a somewhat naturalness. There won't be as much resistance. It won't be such a fight to make change happen, but rather it will feel right, it will feel natural, and that benefit of feeling free, of feeling lighter, of feeling liberated from what once felt like a burden is that much more promised under a sky like this. So it really is all about this eclipse. It's setting up a very powerful 6-week period ahead. I would encourage you to watch the monthly horoscope. I did talk about this eclipse in all the signs for all the monthly horoscopes out there, because it is that important and it is that powerful. But of course, I'll be talking about it as we move further into this week's forecast as well, because it really is a turning point for a whole lot of us out there. You add to this eclipse, we've got a supportive Uranus, as I said, speaking in harmony with this eclipse. We've also got the Sun speaking in supreme harmony with Uranus as well, only supporting the freedom factor, the happiness factor, the liberation factor, that much more. Elsewhere in the sky, think about what was happening last week with Mercury. Well, this week, Venus is going to be tracing those steps, doing the same thing, having the same kind of conversations. Venus will stand across the sky from Neptune and will speak in supreme harmony with Pluto. So we are going to want to watch this, and the fact that this is happening along with the eclipse makes it that much more important to have these events taking place, because it does amp up the power of just about everything else that's happening in the sky when we've got an eclipse like this. But think about Venus speaking in supreme harmony with Pluto. This is an energy of powerful attractions, of transformative experiences, of depth and deepening of commitment. It's of feeling your soul changed as a result of understanding love differently. But first, before we get there, we are going to have to face some disappointment, face some disillusionment as well as possible under an energy like this, because Venus is going to stand across the sky from Neptune. And what this does suggest is, first, we've sort of got to face our own inflated expectations. We've got to face some of our own excuses, face some of our own, wherever it is, maybe, if we have this idea that finding love somehow is going to save us from our learning, from our lessons. This is that chance to really look at that and to release that. And of course, move in a direction that ends up deepening love that much more. And all of us are going to be feeling this energy in one way or another. This energy can play out in love. It can also play out with money as well. So it is important to watch what's taking place right about now. And considering the fact that we do have Mercury now well in shadow, right? As we move forward, Mercury is going to go retro before the month is out. It is important to remember that whatever it is that feels so pressing, that feels like you want to have it, you might just change your mind, actually, which can happen under a sky like this. So when I see this, it says to me, no big, extravagant luxury purchases, probably a good idea. We do have that ability to be smart about how it is that we are spending our money. And we have that ability to understand real power and where power really lies. And ultimately, power is not found simply in status symbols. Power is something that's deeper. Power is self-knowledge. Self-knowledge is power. And a sky like this does promise that we are gained a whole lot of self-knowledge, not only in terms of love, not only in terms of our spending habits as well, how we're earning money as well, but also in a heightened sense, in terms of our understanding of ourselves and our own commitment to trusting our creative impulse. That is a true power, knowing that there's something within you that you are going to follow and you are going to trust, and it will only lead you in a positive direction, that you can trust that inner creative prompt that much, that it can lead you to better in just about every area of life. Well, that is truly a form of power that makes a person not only powerful, but lends itself to real empowerment. Well, thank you so much for watching the introduction. I'm truly so grateful for it. Please like, comment, subscribe, share, thumbs up. It does mean so much. A big burst of gratitude. Thank you so much to all the people who've been attending the webinars. Thank you for that. Last week it was 200 people joined us in real time. This week it was 176, I think was the high point over the course of the 2-hour webinar. If you weren't able to join us live, that's okay. If you've registered for the class, you do get a video download so that you don't miss a thing. But it's so much fun, and I truly am enjoying that process of us learning from each other as we go through the lesson of the day. There's still 2 more classes left. So far we've done a class on progressions, and just recently a class on chemistrology, which is basically the astrology of first meetings and that energy you feel. And it's essentially, if you're a little bit more of an advanced student, it's synastry astrology, the first impulse, right? What is it that pulls you towards another person? What's happening astrologically? Well, that's what we discussed in the webinar. And next weekend we are going to have a class on outer planet transit. So looking at those times, those major big astrological cycles that take place that change you, in some cases forever change you. We're going to be looking at those. And the week after, we're going to be doing Getting to the Heart of a Chart Fast. So I'm super excited about that as well, giving you guys some ideas and discussing some really quick techniques that you can use to grasp a chart as quickly as possible. So lots of excitement on hand, lots of fun to be had as well. And of course, if you missed a class, you can always have the video download. So please check out synchronicityuniversity.com. I do look forward to meeting you in class. VHX, nadiyashah.vhx.tv is where you can get an early look at the Jupiter specials. So Jupiter will change signs, will move into the sign of Libra come September of this year, so not that far down the road. And I am offering an early look, and this is only if you want an early look at the Jupiter specials. Please join me at nadiyashah.vhx.tv. I have teamed up with them. It's been an amazing partnership. I'm so grateful for it. They had reached out to me months and months ago, and I was just looking for the right time to actually partner with them, and so happy to bring you this early look at the Jupiter specials. It's pay what you want, pay what you can, and it's very simple. You go on, you pay what you like, you download it, and it is yours. So that's if you want an early look, but those videos are going to be published as we move forward, and especially as we get to Jupiter changing signs. So if you want, you can be on the lookout for that as well, and wait for it to be on YouTube. And thank you so much. They've been really popular. I've been really moved, very encouraged by the support for and the enthusiasm really for the early look at the Jupiter special. So thank you for that. I also want to tell you about Patreon. So I am on Patreon, patreon.com/Nadiya Shah. Be part of my next book, The Universe is Wise and Loving. And depending on, the amount, how much you want to be a patron, you can get an early copy of the book, get special mention in my book as well. So I hope that you will check it out. This is a project very near and dear to my heart, and I'm so grateful for the support that has been there for allowing me to actually continue to contribute and grow in what it is that I offer. And writing this book, it just is so meaningful to me. So I hope that you will meet me there and be part of a community, be part of nurturing a community at Patreon. So it's patreon.com/Nadiya Shah. I do want to send a special shout out to all the new people that I'm finding on social media, particularly Instagram. So I've been paying a little bit more attention to Instagram, wanting to grow Instagram. It's been a lot of fun reading your comments and seeing my Instagram grow. So thank you so much for that. If you want to find me on Instagram, it's Nadiya_Shah. There are like a few accounts. I don't know how I ended up with multiple accounts, but if you actually want to see where I'm actually posting and to actually interact with what I am posting, then please do check out. That's the official channel, Nadiya_Shah. And of course, as I look at this particular sky, there's so much that's amazing that's coming up ahead. Looking forward to celebrating it all with you guys on the weekly horoscopes, in the monthly horoscopes, and other special horoscopes and videos that I do. And of course, absolutely everything that I do is a part of affirming in the world that the universe is wise and loving. The universe is wise and loving. I believe it, and that is my mission, is to affirm that in the world, and it is the motivation behind absolutely everything that I share. I hope that you, in some way, watching this video, get a burst of hope, a burst of inspiration, and are reminded of this very sacred truth. The universe is wise and loving. Well, thank you so much again for watching. I'm always very grateful for it. How all this wonderful stuff this week will speak to you and your sign is coming up right now. Hello, Fabulous Aries. This week's eclipse takes place in a part of the sky for you that has to do with friendship and groups that you belong to. It's going to be these particular areas of life where there's lots of energy for lots of change, and in some cases, very positive change as well. It's very possible under a sky like this that at least one major friendship goes through some type of transformation, or that a friend surprises you, literally like out of nowhere, surprises you, and the surprise is positive, okay, or you could take it as positive if you like, and changes you, changes either your circumstances in very practical ways, or personally on an emotional level, changes you as well. But remember, this is ultimately like seeing the truth of a friend that maybe you didn't want to see before. So whether it is that you haven't given this person enough credit, or whether it is that you've given them too much, that is what is going to become very clear under a sky like this. Also, we have Venus this week. Venus will be standing across the sky from Neptune. That tends to be all around not the greatest energy for love, and for you in particular, where it comes to like workplace romances or flirtations, you really want to be mindful. It's very possible misunderstandings can take place, especially early in the week. As we move a little bit further into the week, you get into a little bit safer ground, which is great. But at least while this particular energy is playing out, you may want to just be mindful of that. Be mindful of multiple interpretations to anything that you may share. It may be very innocent. It may not have anything to do with anything romantic, and it might be taken as such. So whether it's coming from somebody else or coming from you. For those of you in an established bond, it is very possible under a sky like this that there's a little bit of what to tell, what not to tell, what to address, what not to address, especially as we are in the weekend, as we're at the very, very beginning of this week. So do be mindful of that and stay open to the fact that it might not necessarily be that anything's being hidden, more like there's a time and a place to share, and that time will come. In fact, it'll come as we move further into the week. We've got this gorgeous connection between Venus and Pluto that can make just miracles happen, whether you're with somebody or you're open to meeting someone new. This is welcoming in heart experiences that can transform deeply. Hello, Fabulous Taurus. This week we've got a busy sky, an exciting sky. For you in particular, we do have your ruling planet Venus speaking with Neptune and speaking with Pluto. Now, it's the Pluto conversation as we move further into the week that I love for you. The Neptune conversation, not so much, because that does suggest for all of us a sense of disillusionment, a sense of disappointment, a sense of wanting a certain reality but feeling like it's elusive and not able to happen, and a sense of miscommunication and misunderstanding all around. So it is best to sort of lay low early in the week where it comes to matters of heart, but especially for you personally as well, in terms of you putting maybe inflated expectations on yourself or on what love is supposed to be. And then love comes through for you in a big way as we move further into the week. We also have an eclipse taking place, and this eclipse is happening at the very top of your sky, making for some breakthrough performance or interview or audition or statement that you are making, some pitch that you're making that can go exceptionally well right about now. As they say, you may knock it out of the park with this kind of sky. So if there's anything you're trying to put out there, and especially if you're following up on something again, this is a really good time to do that. So do watch for this eclipse. If something that you really wanted, that you thought was part of your path towards greater achievement, it has seemed to leave you, if it seemed to pass you by, this is where it's very possible that it just shows up for you again for another shot. Hello, Fabulous Gemini. This week, we've got an active sky and we've got this eclipse and fellow air sign. This eclipse is happening in a part of the sky that has to do with exploration, travel, with knowing more, being more, doing more than you did before. And it has to do with vision, like understanding, getting clear on what it is that is truly worth achieving, and then starting to put things into place so that when you get your shot, when you're ready to manifest, you are prepared and you will be ready to take a big step forward. That big step forward is coming not too far down the road. Actually, that big step is coming in just a month's time. So this is where the preparation starts to happen. It happens quickly. And it's very possible that some vision, some understanding of what it is that you need to do now. If you're going to get where you want to get, it's very possible that a doorway opens up for you now. Now, this is usually when people start going back to school, start being open to school. If you've been trying to have higher education happen for you, if there were any questions, this is where the clear path ahead shows up. It shows up very clearly what it is that the universe desires for you to do. That pathway forward will be very clear. What's also very clear with a sky like this is that sense, that understanding that what you're doing right now is part of a larger plan. And understanding that can allow you to recognize where there is actually a lot of luck and a lot of magic playing out for you. When we move to matters of heart, we do have Venus right now moving through the very bottom of your sky. It's a very private place. It's like a very secretive place. I would be mindful with this, especially as we are at the very beginning of the week, because it is possible that you may not be sure where you stand in a matter of heart, whether it's someone new or whether it is a matter with a partner that you are with a committed relationship. So it seems like, it seems not very solid as we are starting this week. And then the deepening, the depth of understanding starts to happen as we move forward. So don't worry too much if you're starting this week and feeling like you don't really know where you stand. Your answers are actually much more immediate than you realize. Hello, Fabulous Cancer. This week we have got an eclipse, a big eclipse happening. And for you, it's happening in a part of the sky that is decidedly financial. Now, this is big. This does suggest a fortunate change coming about where it comes to what we call like large chunks of money, okay? So this isn't necessarily that you just get a little raise. This is accessing resources, being able to access funds. Now, as I just said for the Geminis, this is a time when normally people are going back to school. Well, some people are a percentage of the population, right? So sometimes it's like you realize that that's what you want to do and you quickly try to make it happen. Sometimes you know that it's coming, you've been trying to make it happen for a while. Well, when I see a sky like this for you, this is really good if finances are a part of the equation for you. If you're trying to access student loans or grants, this is a very fortunate sky to just have the resources, the money that you need to have a really good decision come together and have that money show up for you. So you could, if you're trying to access funding for what it is that you're trying to do and something that matters to you, like truly matters to you, you've got lots of cosmic support to attract that very funding that you desire. Also, with this particular energy, where it comes to love this week, it's almost like I'm seeing at the start of the week, it's very tempting. There's like a sweet, if I may say, it's almost like a candy, right? Candy is not real nutrition. It's not substantive. And so you have this little bit of a contrast there where it's very possible that early in the week, something that actually is just an illusion looks really amazing, looks really sweet, but there's something in you that knows that might not actually hold any value, hold any nutritional value for you in particular. So really, as we move further into the week, that's when you've got so much cosmic support on your side. And of all the signs out there, you are one of the signs, the water signs in general, but certainly you are one of the signs who really has the potential of a wonderful breakthrough and a solidifying, a transformative meeting of minds where it comes to love. So it's especially true for you. I really love that Venus is speaking to Pluto in your opposite sign. It does say something about your understanding of love and holding love with greater reverence. When you do that, you find that love returns that very respect and that very depth to you. Hello, Fabulous Leo. It is a big, bold, beautiful week for you in the context of love. It really is all about love for you this week. And when I look at a sky like this, really dramatic, fortunate turnarounds become possible in the context of love and partnerships. And this is true whether you're in an established bond or open to meeting someone new. This is the kind of sky that can just have love show up for you, like very suddenly. This is the kind of sky that can have somebody return very suddenly, happily. Okay, so it's happy energy here. This can also be the kind of sky that has somebody show up and then you realize that you're so glad it didn't work out. actually. It's possible. And of course, it's also the kind of sky, if you're in an established bond, to feel extremely happy about developments that take place now. So there's happy energy, there's freeing energy, there's energy that love is moving forward, and love is a source of freedom for you now. The only thing that I do want you to be a little bit mindful of is we do have Venus moving through a financial part of the sky having to do with spending and earning. And Venus will, as we're at the very beginning of the week, be speaking with Neptune, and that can speak to, for you in particular, can speak to some financial losses. So I just want you to be a little bit mindful of that. Be mindful of spending for no reason, because it does really look like that. Like this could be frivolous, really, as we're starting the week. Now, as we move further into the week, especially as we move further to the eclipse, the energy changes. It's not frivolous anymore. So this really is just at the very beginning of this week. But once we get the work week started, we've got energy that says smart, that says strategic, where it comes to your spending, where it comes to understanding what you value and what doesn't matter, what doesn't hold value. Ultimately, this energy says to keep money in its proper place. It's great to have prosperity, absolutely, but also know what it is that really matters. And for you, with that very strong connection to your heart, you absolutely know what truly does. Hello, Fabulous Virgo. This week, we've got this beautiful active sky. And for you in particular, we've got Venus in your sign. Now, early in the week, it looks a little bit, as we're very beginning of the week, as we're starting the week, on the weekend, we have some energy there that does speak to some disappointments, possible, having a certain inflated expectation where it comes especially to love. So you do want to be mindful of that. But that energy is going to change dramatically, especially once we start the work week. So it's just a short little period of time that you have to be mindful of at the weekend, really, as we're at the very beginning of this week. I would advise, with a sky like this, no major beautifying procedures, no big investments where it comes to like clothes or jewelry or beauty treatments or things like that. You just want to be mindful, because this kind of energy does suggest that you may put a whole lot of resources, right? Put a whole lot into it, and what returns to you ends up being kind of deflating. So you just want to be mindful of that. But as we move further into the week, particularly as we move closer to this eclipse, now with eclipses, generally not a good time. Like, things can change very quickly, so not a good time in terms of just making large purchases in general. We're already in Mercury shadow. However, we do have Venus speaking in supreme harmony with Pluto. So if you have that one-off, if you feel that inspiration that you want to invest in something that you think is going to bring you a lot of benefit, and especially if it's something that has to do with beauty, it has to do with feeling good, it has to do with expressing your most beautiful self, then you've got lots of positive cosmic support. But remember, you might change your mind, so just be conscious of that. But where it comes to love, this is very powerful energy. And even with that disappointment, it does suggest that, especially as we move into the week, an absolutely positive and deeply transformative experience in love and attraction can be available to you. If you're in an established bond, this is a chance to transform maybe a moment that may have otherwise felt difficult or might have felt disappointing. This is the ability to say and to communicate what it is that you're really feeling, in the hopes of strengthening that love you have, and at the very least, creating a positive change. We, of course, do have this eclipse. This eclipse is happening in a part of the sky for you that has to do with the workplace and the work that you do. This can be a time when all kinds of work assignments show up for you, very busy at work and changes happening at work. This can also be a time when you have a female leaving your workspace, if that applies, and this seems to come by surprise, but there is happiness around this, and especially advantage to you as well. And ultimately what this does say, if you're self-employed as well, there's going to be a lot of demand for you, and also a sense of change now, where you start to refine and start to move towards work that feels that much more rewarding. Hello, Fabulous Libra. This week we have got an eclipse happening in fellow air sign Aquarius. This is so great for you, so fortunate for you. I absolutely love this energy. To me, this says that there is the possibility of flirtation that leads to transformation, that helps you to feel free and liberated and light and happy. Now, this can be in the context of an established bond where that's going to be going through some changes and also feeling a greater sense of freedom and possibility within that bond. But this absolutely could also be with somebody new as well. The key here really with this energy is to have fun, to live it up, to enjoy yourself, because it's in that all kinds of good things can find you. I also got to say, with this kind of energy, do make sure to buy a lottery ticket to do that for yourself. You will be so glad for it. It's possible that there's a big windfall, possible maybe not that much of a windfall as much as you understanding where your unique lottery ticket lies within you, that you can trust your creativity, you can trust your ideas to make great things happen. So as much as it is fun to buy that, spend that dollar, get that ticket, at the same time, there is also a lot of value in contemplating and considering, especially when you feel like some creative urge or voice is prompting you in a certain direction. It can lead you to better and better things. What I also really like about this sky is Venus. Venus will be speaking in supreme harmony with Pluto. Now, do keep in mind, especially at the very start of the week, it may feel a little bit like not very solid. There's not a lot of solid energy right now, especially at the very, very early start of the week. But as we move further into the week, that energy will transform. And what I mean by that is you may just need more rest. It's very possible under a sky like this. But if you do need that rest, no problem. Make sure you get it, right? Your dreams might be really weird. You can't make a lot of sense of them. That's okay too. But then as we move further into the week, that's when the energy turns around very quickly, becomes very profound, very transformative, and really becomes the energy that feels like it's moving you in a direction of setting you free in the best possible sense. Hello, Fabulous Scorpio. This week we have got an eclipse happening at the very bottom of your sky. This has to do with home. This has to do with your foundation. So for some of you out there, this is going to play out in terms of where you live. There might be changes right now, buying, selling, renting, moving, all of that can happen. New roommates can happen under a sky like this. Ultimately, it's leading in a positive direction, and things happen very quickly under an energy like this. This also can be very quick and positive turnarounds where it comes to your family of origin, your relationship with them, or any issue having to do with their well-being, particularly your parents, where it is that applies. It's also possible that some good news comes about through one of these people. Also, with this energy, it starts to become more clear what base you are establishing, what foundation you're laying, and if you like it. So this can be a time when you understand the steps you need to take now if you're going to reap really bigger things in the fullness of time. Now, this is really in the fullness of time, right? This is really about looking at your, where you're standing, right? The structures with which and from which you desire to build. And this becomes especially true for those of you who have home-based businesses. In fact, if you work at home, from home, or with homes, you've got lots of luck and lots of promise of prosperity under a sky like this. When it comes to love, it really is the line between friendship and love that's blurring this week for you. And so you do want to be mindful of that, especially at the very start of the week. It is possible that a friend, it looks like, in all honesty, it looks like there's some disappointment that might be there, whether it is with a friend. It might be something that has nothing to do with you. It could be a decision that they're making. Or it could be that a friend expresses some romantic feelings and you don't really know what to do with it as well. It makes you feel a little bit confused as well. That is possible under sky like this, but it's just at the very beginning. It'll only apply to a small percentage out there. As we move further into the week, we have got that same Venus speaking in supreme harmony with Pluto, your ruling planet. And this is where friendship and love bringing together is really, really good. So if you're in an established bond, make sure that you are spending time with friends, with this person you love, or at least if there's any issue you need to talk to a friend about it and help to bring some healing energy into the mix. And if it is the case that you're open to meeting someone new, do make sure that you're spending time with friends. This is the kind of sky that either with a friend or through a friend, you could meet somebody and feel a very strong connection, if not have a transformative experience, a profound experience that ends up leaving you changed for the better. Hello, Fabulous Sagittarius. This week we have an eclipse, a big eclipse happening, and it's happening in a part of the sky for you that has to do with finding the right words, with communicating and with connections, especially connections that are spoken, that are written, that are based on actually the passing of and through the medium of communication devices. So what this says to me as I look at this is, especially when it comes to love, this is a time when, if you're open to meeting someone new, it is the online experience that can be especially fortunate for you. So you might want to give that a try. If not, if you want, you can connect with people on social media as well. And particularly if you're connecting with people where you already have like some connection, you know that this is a real person. It's not, something out of the blue, something brand new. If somebody sends you a message and you thought you've been a little bit interested, this could be a good time for you to consider indulging and having that exchange. It could end up leading in very positive places. Also, if you're in an established bond, a really great time to actually have a key conversation that just can change all kinds of possibilities and lead to a real sense of understanding and being propelled into your joint future together. So conversation is key. Also this month, we do have Venus moving through the very top of your sky. And with this, it does suggest that career, achievement, meeting some goal is going to be important to you. This is the very beginning of an extended process that has been going on for the last few weeks and will continue actually into next month as well. It's set to be a big month for you, September, where it comes to your career through achieving something or putting yourself on the path towards achieving something that matters to you. When we have a sky like this, it does suggest that this is a time when you're considering your options. There might be a little bit, as you're at the very beginning of the week, there might be some mixed feelings around an opportunity, or it could be that an opportunity is not what you thought it was. That really is okay, because as we move further into the week, and particularly as we get close to this eclipse, as we move midweek, there is the real chance here to make really an exceptional statement, an exceptional move, and to have it be very well received. And this is especially true if you're looking for a change, and especially if you're looking for a big change. If you're looking to change your career, if you're looking to change what it is that you're doing to earn money, what it is that you're doing in terms of what's worth achieving in the world, you've got lots of cosmic support for establishing a deepening of an understanding of what it is you truly desire to do, and especially what it is that you desire to do next. Whether it is a small refinement so that you can hone in on your best skills to your greatest financial advancement, or a sweeping overhaul, this is the kind of sky that can support that kind of change. And especially if you're talking it out, especially if you're striving to understand what you want to do, you're connecting with others, your neighbors, your siblings, your cousins, and you're expressing your thoughts, your feelings, your emotions, allow them to help you to understand more deeply the direction in which you're going. And of course, someone like you absolutely has the commitment and the bravery to see it through. Hello, Fabulous Capricorn. This week we have got an active sky, and what's especially active for you is matters of money. Money you earn, money you spend. This is especially true with this eclipse, an eclipse happening in the very part of the sky that has to do with money you earn and money you spend. There is going to be a change. It's positive, it's exciting. It's very possible under a sky like this that your income does improve. That is possible. Also, this is especially fortunate for those of you who have a business that is based in home, or have sort of a side project that you do on your own time. This kind of energy can work very well for finding advancement in those particular areas. What I also really love about this particular energy for you is that there's a real understanding on your part as to what you are worth. You are putting value on yourself and understanding that you can trust yourself to make some big changes that move you in the direction of greater prosperity and, of course, greater happiness and prosperity as well. How you earn your money, what you're doing to make money, is also an important part of feeling happy with what it is that you are doing. Now, what I also really love about this particular sky is that element of considering your spending and spending on something that matters to you, that is possible. It can happen under a sky like this, that very quickly there's a desire to make some purchase. It may be technology related, okay? Now, do keep in mind, the only thing I would be a little bit mindful of is we do have right now Mercury like very comfortably in shadow. At the end of this month, will gear to go retro, so you do want to be a little bit mindful of that. But especially if this is something that you've been planning, that you've been looking forward to, that's been in the works, I would say if you can do it very quickly, but just be aware it's possible that things change. And if you go and they don't have exactly what it is you want, and they're telling you they can have it in 2 weeks, leave it alone for now. That's all I'm going to say around that. Now, when it comes to matters of love, we do have Venus still moving through compatible Earth sign Virgo. This is especially good for you. And having Venus move through the sign of Virgo does suggest that your own persuasive love qualities are able to come forward that much more naturally. It's like you're in your element where it comes to love. And this is especially true where it comes to interacting with people different than what you've known before. Now, do keep in mind at the very early of the week, we do have some energy that it feels a little bit like, for those of you open to meeting someone new, it might feel a little bit like, will love ever happen? It might feel a little bit like that. It will pass. It's just a passing feeling. It will pass, and things will start to look a whole lot better as we move into the week. If you're in an established bond, it could be some element of, maybe not seeing things as positively as you might otherwise, thinking that this person is way too different, thinking that your values are really different. Give it a couple of days, because as I look at how the sky changes as we move midweek, there's the real possibility here that you will find yourself really seeing things from a very different perspective, from a perspective ultimately that helps you to appreciate the love that you have and helps you to recognize the love that is available to you. Hello, Fabulous Aquarius. This week we have an eclipse in your sign. It's a big moment for you. Having an eclipse in your sign and speaking with the ruler of your sign, the modern ruler of your sign, and considering that you're starting this week with the ancient ruler of your sign, newly direct, this is really a time when you can find yourself clear about where you're going and propelled in the direction that not only you desire to go, but understanding what you're taking with you and what you're not, and feeling enthusiastic about what is coming up ahead. It's like what the right thing is to do, what you really want to do, it just comes together and it lends itself to easy action and very quick change. So if there's any area of your life, especially if it's near and dear to your heart, it matters to you, if there's any area where you have felt that you desire to experience some kind of transformation, some kind of major change, some kind of more honest and authentic expression of yourself, this is where you are going to find that a lot of forces, a lot of things come together and allow that to be so. Allow it to come together to allow you to move in a direction that ultimately ends up feeling really empowering and just truly uplifting is what this energy can be. Remember, eclipses bring you back on the path that you were meant to be on. They move you towards greater love and greater wisdom. As part of this, there can be some dramatic changes. If you have not been paying attention or really striving to live consciously, which happens sometimes, right? If you've been a little bit on automatic, some of that being brought back can feel rather dramatic. But for those of you who do strive to listen to your life, there will be a greater sense, or less of a surprise, more of a naturalness, but still a lot of delight. And there still is that element of not realizing how much you can change in an instant. And it really does come down to you, like your heart and what you know you want, who you know yourself to be, in an instant can change in a very positive direction. Now you add to this the element that we are going to have the sun in your opposite sign speaking in supreme harmony with Uranus. This is great for love, and this is great for love turnarounds. So if you're in an established bond, this is where you could really find yourself making plans for your future and very quickly moving towards them. If you're open to meeting someone new, you very well could make a connection with somebody, whether it's online, through social media, or in person, as well as you're going about your business, especially in your neighborhood. This kind of sky is very supportive for a very surprise meeting that ends up being very consequential. Hello, Fabulous Pisces. This week we have Venus in your opposite sign and at the very beginning of the week, speaking with Neptune in your sign. So I do want you to be mindful where it comes to love and partnership as you're starting this week. It's possible to see things very pessimistically, or maybe to feel a sense of disappointment. Now, a lot of things transform very quickly, especially as we enter the work week. A whole lot is taking place. We have Venus in your opposite sign, speaking in supreme harmony with Pluto. So this can be transformations from the inside out that are positive and encouraging and really bring a lot of happiness and a lot of hope as well. So if you are one of those few Pisceans out there who are starting the week feeling a little bit down or feeling a little bit disillusioned by love, don't worry, that energy will change, especially as we move further into the week. You add to this that there is an eclipse. There's an eclipse taking place in the sign just before yours. Now this can bring like what was hidden to light, and very dramatically. Now normally this is going to be related to secrets that you don't know, things that you weren't aware of. For some of you out there, this could be you not realizing somebody working on your behalf to help you to usher in an opportunity for greater prosperity or greater money. So that can happen under sky like this. Somebody might end up doing a good turn for you and you don't realize it until after the fact. So stay open to that as a possibility. The ancients would say also that this can be a part of the sky where there are angels working on your behalf. Now, the other thing though you do want to be mindful of with this is, now what I love is that there's positive energy. There's a very harmonious, there's a harmonious Uranus speaking with this eclipse. So I really like that because it does say that what comes to light brings about opportunity for you. So that's really great. But keep in mind, ultimately, this is, a little bit like stuff rattling in your psyche. So what that means is some of that you're not aware of might actually originate from within you. So it's important to document your dreams under a sky like this. Make sure that you are paying attention, because really it could be in your dreams that you come up with an amazing money-making opportunity, and it could be also in your dreams that your pathway forward towards the types of prosperity that you desire to have starts to become that much clearer. So do pay attention there. It is possible, again, under a sky like this, that you dream and you wake up and you come up with an idea, a concept, a song, a video, and it ends up actually being something that holds the seeds to reach the masses. Well, thank you so much to all signs out there. Enjoy the eclipse, and it will be a great week. Enjoy. Head over to my website right now to get early access to the Jupiter Special Horoscopes. In the month of September, Jupiter will change signs. We'll move into the sign of Libra. This is so exciting, as all of us in some way are going to notice our blessings shift and feel ourselves getting more hopeful and getting more opportunity in a very practical kind of way in a new area of life. So based on your sun sign, based on your moon sign, your rising sign, Jupiter will bless your life in new ways. So to find out how and to get an early look into how, head on to my website, nadiyashah.com. And of course, those horoscopes will be available on YouTube to the public on YouTube in the month of September. But if you want an early look, visit my website, and I look forward to seeing you there. It'll be great. This move of Jupiter into Libra will be great. Enjoy.